the work that our constituents have placed upon us. Please guide us to make the best decisions that we can make. Please pray for our country on this, the night of the presidential election. Please protect our presidential candidates and all the elected officials serving in our country. Please pray for the elderly and for our children. Please pray for the lonely as we approach the holiday season. For this and all private intentions, we pray. In his name, amen.
Amen.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mayor Gurley.
Here.
Councilmember Finley.
Here.
Councilmember Reese.
Here.
Councilmember Cumberland.
Here.
Councilmember Clark.
Here.
Councilmember Marr.
Here.
I'm going to make a motion to move to adjust the agenda to add under claims payable number 19. Motion to approve docket of claims in the amount of $3,000 for the band for the barbecue and brews. Could I get a second to move as amended?
Second. Finley.
Second made by Councilman Finley. City Clerk.
Finley.
Yes.
Reese.
Yes.
Cumberland.
Yes.
Clark.
Yes.
Marr.
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. The next regularly scheduled meeting of the City Council will be held on Tuesday, November 19th, 2024 at 6 p.m. in Council Chambers located at City Hall. The Diamond Head Barbecue and Brews will be held Saturday, November 9th, 2024 from 3 to 8 p.m. at City Hall. Before the barbecue and blues is the Veterans Day Parade beginning at 3 p.m. starting at the Country Club. And City Manager, is there any chance that that'll be rescheduled due to the weather?
We are looking into that. Currently, right now, the weather looks pretty good. I think the latest forecast shows the tropical storm at that time not coming around until Sunday. So right now, the weather looks good, and it doesn't look like any precipitation, so we should be fine.
Excellent, thank you. Next, we have a presentation for the employees' insurance renewals with Hub International.
Good evening.
Good
Evening. Good.
I have Keisha with me, which is new to Hub International, so I wanted to make sure I introduced her to you as well. I'm Diane Moore with Hub International, and we do have the City of Diamond Head renewal that we have presented to your team, and we want to go over it with you and ask, and if you have any questions, we'll be able to answer those as we go, or you can hold them to the end of the meeting. The medical with Blue Cross Blue Shield is increasing at 5.91%. It shows the current rates and the renewal rates on your illustration. On the next page, we have the GAP deductible, where it's offered as an option for your employees to buy a GAP plan. One reduces the deductible to $3,500, and option two reduces the deductible to $1,000. The second option two, there was no increase. There was a small increase on option one, which the city is recommending. I think it's $10 a month increase for that deductible option one. Questions? Okay. The next illustration, because I think it's really important for you as a city council to know the where the information comes from Blue Cross. This is an illustration that shows from November of 23 the loss ratio, which is the premium versus the claims for your group, through August of this year. And this will give you the percentage where it runs from 102 up to 112% loss ratio. So we've had a challenging year from a loss ratio, but you're under 50 lives, so you're grouped with all of the accounts in the state of Mississippi under 50, and so therefore it didn't reflect a higher increase other than the percentage that we talked about earlier. Okay? The next item is the Guardian Vision and Dental. There's no change in either one of these premiums. These are both voluntary to all of the employees, that they have the option to continue those, which we'll do at open enrollment meetings, if everything's approved as illustrated. We also have the Guardian Basic Life and the accidental death and dismemberment plan rates, and there is no change on those as well. On the last page, it just shows that we'll wait for your decision tonight. If you want to proceed, then we would schedule and have the open enrollment scheduled, and we can discuss the renewal with your employees at those meetings, and they'll be able to make the changes as they request, as they prefer to. Any questions?
I have one question,
Yes, ma'am?
and it's for the city manager. How much did we budget for the increase?
We budgeted a 10% increase for our health insurance, so we're well under that.
Excellent. Yes, okay, we usually do that. That's excellent. 5.91%. Excellent job. Thank you. And no increases on the dental, vision, or basic life.
That is
Thank you very much. This is an excellent proposal.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have the city manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor. Just to give you a quick update on the projects that we have going on, the MDOT project. Currently, they're working on the four-way stop roundabout area, as most of you have seen. Doing a lot of work there, getting the curbing in and the rest of that, the north side of the roundabout put together. Not sure exactly if they'll try to complete that entire roundabout before they start working on the others. My guess is they will, but we'll have to kind of wait and see what T.L. Wallace does as far as that goes. They're also working on the exit ramp headed towards Slidell Waveland. As you guys can see, they've taken the entire ramp out and put in the base gravel. So my guess is hopefully we'll see asphalt on that within the next maybe week to 2 weeks, depending on how this weather holds out on us and if we can stay dry, which would be a great thing. The Park 10 Road, met with the contractor this morning. Currently, that project ends December 31st. The sidewalks are getting finished, and they're going to, they have schedule for paving on the 17th, I believe it is, of December, to get that entire thing paved and finish up on the rest of the work needed there. So they should be definitely done before the December 31st deadline on that project. The pavers, the lighting, and the landscapes all getting worked on. They're putting in the meters to get the lights finished and then get the irrigation on that working as well. The Bowview 2 project, didn't get a chance to make it out there today to take a look at it, but as I drove past it, you can see the concrete mat that they put down is now in place that goes from Golf Club Drive to the very end of the project, taking that left-hand turn back towards behind the houses there. All that's been put in place, so they'll looks like to me they'll be doing the finishing grade work on that and finishing out on that project. That project does have until December 4th, but I think they'll be finished well before the end of this month and getting that entire thing complete. They put in the 2 different drain boxes that they had to put in to add to the drainage for that, and should be finished soon. The Kaliki Way project, waiting on the updated plans from the engineer for the roadway repairs. Spoke to the engineer today about that. They have that as on the top of their list. They're working the rest of the plan they need, and they'll get the change order to us to add that back into the contract, as we had removed that out of the initial contract to do the other work that we wanted to get done there on Kaliki Way. But we'll add that back in, and then probably add as much as we can of other ARPA project cost underruns into that project so that we can use all that ARPA money as we need to. The Noma Drive Phase 1B project is for 180 days with January the 7th is our finish date on that. Contractor's well ahead of time and doing a great job down there. I'm not sure if you guys seen the updated pictures we posted on Facebook Friday showing the progress on that one. It looks very good. Ran into the fabricator for the handrails down there Friday. He was getting final measurements off of the end design or end build and was going to get the handrails manufactured, and they'll get those installed. Looking at a change order tonight to get the curbing around the parking lot that the city's installing, and the conduit, I believe it is, for the light that we're trying to install down at the on the pier itself. So a few final touches to get that project complete and get everything taken care of there. Turnberry Way, contractors been working very hard on that. That has a December 25th end date. I spoke with the engineer today out on the site, and she expects that project, or for the contractor, to be done probably in the next 2 weeks. I think they have scheduled for paving on the 14th, if that sounds about right to me, to pave that entire project. So they've got one conflict box that they've got to install that's still in the road that we're finishing up on, and then the rest of it's outside the roadway. And then of course they have to do the cut into the roadway across Turnberry Way. They're going to do half and half, put in the culverts, close that up, and then do the other half of the road to keep that open for residents that are on Turnberry Way to be able to access and get in and out. Contractor's been wonderful on that project. When on trash day, they've been taking the trash cans out there so that the residents' trash can get picked up. Been working with the delivery people, either postage or USPS or UPS or whatever, to get deliveries to these residents while the road is in the state it's currently in. So they've been doing a great job out there on that one. The Calais Street project, we did a closeout walkthrough on that one last week, and there were a few minor areas that we wanted them to fix and do a little bit more too. So they're going to work on those and get that punch list finished and be ready to submit final closeout documents on that one. The Hilo Way Master Drainage Project and the Hooley Place Drainage Project, those two are still on on hold, waiting on this Turnberry project to get finished, and then they will start probably on a Hooley first, and then get over to Hilo last, just because it has the most days on the contract to get that done. So they'll be starting here, I would say, in the next couple of weeks on the Hooley project. Comey Drive in Capilama Pond, Calipacona Pond, that project is out for bid right now, and we'll have those bids open here in a couple of weeks, and be able to get back to you guys on that one to see how we are. The dog park sent the lease to Ochsner for their review, and received the legal description today from the engineer. So I sent that over to them. They're reviewing that to make any suggestions or changes they would like to see within that lease from Ochsner. So we'll have to wait, and I'll get back to you guys on that as soon as I get something. The Coombe Branch project, spoke with the engineer last week on that one. They're doing a little more additional survey work in a couple of areas where they feel like they kind of were halfway up the street, and they decided we really need to do the whole street to start at the top and work your way down, kind of thing. So they're working on that, and we'll get that to us here and hopefully be at the December 17th council meeting to present that entire project and get that one out to advertise. The Noma Drive dredging, that's on your agenda tonight for approval. Once we get that approved tonight, we can get a notice to proceed and get that started. And then what they're dredging there is not specifically right up by where the boat launch and the pier are, but more out towards almost where the Jordan River meets that canal. As you may be aware or not, if you're kind of driving over the bridge there, going over, if you kind of look back there, you can see where that sort of island in the middle of that Jordan River is, and that's what we're trying to dredge out to kind of clean that up so that people and boats can get in and out of there. The Montjoy Creek, again, spoke with the engineer last week on this one, and still waiting. U.S. Army Corps of Engineers needed a couple more pieces of information. The engineers got that to them, so we're just waiting on the final permits to get that project started. We're looking at possibly bidding that out as 3 separate phases to make sure we have enough money to get the project done. And it's kind of a natural thing because from Diamond Head Drive north to a certain extent, I don't know, let's say 500 feet is grass, and it'll just be a grass path. Then it has to be a gravel path, and then it has to be a pier raised deck path, and that's just landscape and what's underneath there. So it's kind of split already into 3 phases. So we're going to bid it 3 separate phases, so we can make sure we can get the project at least started as much as we have as far as funding goes from our tidelands. The canal dredging, we're still working through that project. The engineer is going to hopefully request to advertise this at the next council meeting so that we can get this approved or bids open and approved sometime in January so that we can have that March, April time frame to get started on the dredging project. Jordan River Boardwalk, the DEQ asked for some cross sections of the boardwalk to review and not the entire design. And the engineer felt like once they had that and approved those, they'd be okay with the rest of the design as it would all be the same from that point forward. And so they'll be working on they got those to them, so waiting on that review back from DEQ and any changes or issues that they may have, we would have to adjust for. The detention pond, the engineer kind of had misplaced this whole project, so I got him back on track on that one. So he's going to work on that one and get us get that drawing back to us. And Public Works will actually take care of doing the dredging on that one, as it's a small pond out behind Fairway Villa. The Pelican Cove, he has been working on that one and still has some more surveying that he has to do to work on that one. That's dredging the pond behind Pelican Cove as well as upstream, because there's some culverts that go, landscape culverts and driveway culverts that are tilted in the wrong directions, and so all that needs to be fixed so that the water has a way to travel through there and be able to get to that pond correctly. And then the unit price projects, just got Kapapa Way and Kiko and Lala Way back from the engineer today, and so I'm waiting on those other 3 to come back, and then we'll get started on those. Engineers working on the Lala Way one to get a unit price on that project, and that's to put a culvert under the road to prevent the water from shedding across the road, as it will go under the culvert or go in the culvert instead of across the road. So working on a lot of things and got a lot of things going. Most of it's all going pretty well right now. Residents have been really appreciative of the work and have been nice to us about all the mess we're making, but they see that the overall project's going to be much better for them. So I just I hope for their patience a little bit longer to get some of this done.
Thank you, John. Councilman Finley, you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Councilman Lisi?
Thank you. Just a couple. John, at the corner of Golf Club Drive and Capilama, the bushes at that corner, would it be possible to get them trimmed? I think it's gotten difficult for people who are making that turn to see over them if they're in a shorter
I got you. Yeah, I actually
car.
Spoke with Ty about that yesterday,
Oh,
and
great.
he is going to work on that hopefully in the next couple of weeks. Ma'am.
Okay, thank you. And then in the middle of the roundabout by Burger King, the smaller one, what can we expect to see in the middle of that? You can look at it now and tell if they've left the middle.
Yeah,
Do we know
yes,
yet?
right now, I mean, Orion Planning had some design, suggestions about putting grasses and so forth. MDOT was very hesitant about putting anything that would block the view of drivers. They wanted to make sure you could see around it. We are actually looking at possibly moving either moving the flagpole that we currently have, or putting a new flagpole there and putting a flag there would probably be up high enough that it wouldn't block your view, and would be a nice centerpiece instead of where it's at now, which kind of looks a little off now, being where it's at.
Maybe we could, but we can have like some smaller, like ground cover landscaping.
Correct,
That
yes.
doesn't impede vision. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's good. Okay, and then Turnberry Way, you mentioned how accommodating the contractor's been, and I just wanted to tell him, I know the residents really appreciated how much he helped on Halloween. They were able to proceed like normal, which
Okay.
was really nice because they did a block party, and he really was helpful.
I will let
So
him know.
that was very much appreciated. Okay, and then question about the dog park. So thank you for getting right on that and handling everything so nicely. Is the size of the one that we're looking at now, the 1.32 acre property, how does that compare to the size of the previous location that was being considered?
Yes, Ben actually sent me a scale model too, and the original design by MP Design will fit perfectly within that piece of land. Now,
That's
I
good
shouldn't say
news.
perfectly. It will fit 100% within that land. It obviously needs to be redesigned to fit the shape of the land, but the size will be the same,
Okay.
if not larger even.
Okay, well, that's very good news. And that is all I had. Thank you for all your hard work.
Councilman Cumberland?
Yes, thank you. John, on the south side, I had a call from a resident about some, what he described as military-type activity. Did we ever hear anything more about that?
We, as a city, were never told anything about it to begin with. I believe Daryl Russell, our police chief, actually told me about it Monday, and I was quite surprised to find that they would do that without at least informing the city. But they did say that they went door to door, left door hangers on any door that they didn't get a resident at, and then the rest they told those residents around that area that they would be performing these maneuvers and doing this type of work there or activity there. But it would have been nice for the city to at least have been informed of it so that we could have, let everybody know at least that it's happening.
And, I mean, what type of exercise was it? It was, and whose property were they on?
They were on city streets and within on the south side, as I understand it, and exactly. I don't even know who. I can't even say what branch of the military was doing it, but
Okay.
I
We should stop
understand. They
talking
got to
about
do
it.
those type of exercises to be ready and for it. But yeah, just a little notification would have been nice.
Okay. That's all I had. Thank you.
Councilman Clark?
Yes, ma'am, thank you. John, the drainage on Hilo, we had spoken about a meeting ago on 78110. Is that going to be included in the Pelican Cove drainage, or is that going to be its separate project?
I can't really say. I don't know where 78110 is exactly, but can you?
That was,
I can tell you Pelican Cove is going to be Hilo Street,
mhm.
where I think that's a lift station right there on the corner, or almost to the corner, and it's that drainage ditch that goes from there back to Pelican Cove. So
Okay.
if 78110 fits within that range,
It's going to be the other way.
okay, going the other way.
Yep.
That one is part of the what's the name of the other unit price, Kiko. Kiko or Coco Street, is that over there near that area?
Yes.
Okay. It's part of that one then.
Okay. I was just making sure I know.
So it's both sides of Hilo Street, I can tell you that way, or that much. So both sides are getting addressed to get that ditch flowing completely through. But yeah, the Pelican Cove is going from Hilo Street down to Pelican Cove to that pond that's there on whatever golf hole that is. And then the unit price is going to come from there all the way down to Hilo Street.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Thank you.
Councilman Marr?
Well, thank you. John, on the Norma Drive multi-projects with the dredging and the boardwalk and the, when do you anticipate the public will be allowed to go and see the whole thing? Are we talking about next April or?
No, I would imagine, well, I'm not really that concerned about the dredging, and as far as when that gets done, that'll just have to happen, and that'll be out in the water, so that's not as big of a deal. But like I said, their contract is done January 7th, but they're well ahead of time. Public Works is building the parking lot down there, and they should be done fairly soon. And I would love to have a ribbon cutting as soon as all that's done, either December if we can get finished by then, or if Gil Crane needs that extra time, sometime 1st of January.
Well, now, I could be wrong, but weren't they kind of in the mix for running for the bids for the boardwalk? The same contractors?
We haven't gone out to, no, well, I mean, we would hope Gil Crane or Borez would maybe be interested in doing that project as well. But as of right now, we haven't even spoken to engineer or to any contractors.
I'm just thinking about the
yeah.
equipment being moved or not moved in terms of,
Yeah,
you know,
it would
it's
be-
basically the equipment that's keeping
That's
the
right.
public away, right?
Yeah, but they should have all that, at least what's on land, cleared and out of the way before, and then we can open it up for access to that. Now, they may leave their barge down there in hopes of getting the rest of that pier and boardwalk to be built, but we'll have to kind of wait and see.
Okay, and then I had a concern from a resident in that, you know, when they're doing the circle by the four-way stop, they took down that Diamond Head sign that was there.
Yes.
And I do remember us having discussions with Orion about having these nice signs made up, but can you tell me where exactly the new Diamond Head signs are going to be placed when the time comes?
I'll be honest, no. Just because we're not sure, you know, MDOT's adjusted some of that, some of those drawings from the original, what Orion had put together. So we kind of have to wait to see how everything finishes out to decide. And of course, we got to choose what we want to put. I mean, Orion had a lot of these big, tall signs to put in. And like I said, MDOT isn't interested in anything like that. They feel like that blocks the view. So we'd have to kind of decide where we want to put something like that. If we want to put something maybe on the bridges, kind of like you have at Bay St. Louis, past Christiane, or even Ocean Springs with big, tall monuments.
Okay, thank you.
City Clerk, did anyone sign up for public comments?
No,
All right.
no one signed up.
Okay, moving right along. Could I get a motion to approve the October 15th, 2024 regular meeting minutes?
Move Finley.
Motion. Motion made by Finley. Could I get a second?
Second, Clark.
Second made by Councilman Clark. City Clerk.
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Marr,
Abstain.
Mayor.
Yes. Could I get a motion to approve consent agenda items 2 through 13? Motion.
Finley, move.
Motion made by Councilman Finley. Could I get a second?
Second.
I'll second. Motion made by Mayor. City Clerk.
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Marr,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. We're now moving into 2 public hearings. The first public hearing is
Mayor.
Resolution 2020.
Mayor, number 14 needs to be removed. That issue has been taken care of by the resident.
We only have
Excellent.
13.
Okay, so we're going to have 1 public hearing. Public hearing 2024-284. A motion to adopt Resolution 2024-045, thereby finding, determining, and adjudicating that the lots at 8314 Kahala Drive, Diamond Head, Mississippi, is a menace to public safety and welfare of the citizenry. That the city clerk is hereby authorized to advertise for bids or obtain quotes or utilize city resources to bring the property into compliance with the city ordinance and for purposes. The property is located at 8312 Kahala Drive, parcel number 068J-341-023.000, and the property owner is Peggy Cross. Is anyone here representing Peggy Cross, or is Peggy Cross present tonight? This is the second call for Peggy Cross or anyone else that is representing Peggy Cross or has any comments on this public hearing. The third request is being called Peggy Cross or anyone else that is here to represent Peggy Cross in this hearing tonight. With no one coming forward, the public hearing has been closed. Could I get a motion to adopt Resolution 2024-284?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Lisi. Could I get a second?
Second. Cumberland.
Second made by Councilman Cumberland. Any discussion, Councilman Finley?
No, ma'am.
Any discussion, Councilman Lisi?
No.
Any discussion, Councilman Cumberland?
No, ma'am.
Any discussion, Councilman Clark?
No, ma'am.
Any discussion, Councilman Marr?
No, ma'am.
City Clerk?
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Action agenda item 2024-285. Motion to approve the Planning Commission's recommendation to grant Gail Yark a variance following construction of closure within a their property line. The property address is 889 Manu Court. The tax parcel number is 067K-1-36-179.000. The property is located in an R6 zoning district. The rear yard setback is 20 feet. The variance requested is 9 feet. The case file number is 2024-00465. Could I get a motion to approve the recommendation by P&Z? Motion?
Move, Clark.
Motion made by Councilman Clark. Could I get a second?
Second. Cumberland.
Second made by Councilman Cumberland. Councilman Clark, any discussion?
No, ma'am.
Councilman Cumberland, any discussion?
No, ma'am.
Councilman Finley?
No, ma'am.
Councilman Lisi?
No.
Councilman Marr?
No, ma'am.
City Clerk?
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Resolution 2020. Motion to approve with the Planning Commission recommendation for re-subdivision of the Diamond Head Plat Lot 1 tax parcel number 132-0-09-001.001 and Diamond Head Phase 3 Unit 1 Block 7 Lots 9 through 18 Tennis World. Tax parcel number 132F-0-04-014.000 and combining the two new adjoining parcels. The parcels are located on Noma Drive and are in the PRF Public Facilities and Recreation District. The case file number is 2024-00496. Could I get a motion to approve the recommendation of the PNC?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilman Lisi. Could I get a second?
Second, Finley.
Second made by Councilman Finley. Any discussion, Councilman Lisi?
No.
Any discussion, Councilman Finley?
No, ma'am.
Any discussion, Councilman Cumberland?
No.
Any discussion, Councilman Clark?
No, ma'am.
Any discussion, Councilman Marr?
No, ma'am.
City Clerk?
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland,
Yes.
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Mayor.
No. Claims payable. A motion to approve docket of claims DKT 232235, DKT 232277, the amount of $234,356.34. Motion.
Move Finley.
Motion made by Councilman Finley, second.
Second, Cumberland.
Second made by Councilman Cumberland. City Clerk.
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Mayor.
No. Claims payable, motion to approve docket of claims. This is number 19, at the amount of $3,000 for the band for the barbecue and blues. Motion? Motion?
So moved. Mar.
Motion made by Councilman Moore. Could I get a second?
Second, Clark.
Second made by Councilman Clark. City Clerk.
Finley,
Yes.
Lisi,
Yes.
Cumberland,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Mar,
Yes.
Mayor.
Yes. Is there any non-agenda public comment?
No, no one has signed up.
No one has signed up. Okay. Closing comments. Councilman Finley?
No, ma'am.
Councilman Lisi?
Thank you.
Councilman Cumberland?
No, I do have one, thank you. So I'm not sure if this is a question for legal or for city administration, but have we gotten copies of the information that was sent to state authorities in Jackson as we requested 5-1 at the last meeting? Have we received that?
I've not received anything.
I'm not receiving.
You haven't received anything? Wasn't there a public records request to that effect too? Nothing?
Not at this time.
Okay. So how do we get that? I went back and looked at the original post, and it said it was emailed and mailed, so do we need to request it from AGJ? What's the recommendation, how to proceed here?
I mean, that's an option that you guys have, certainly. I mean, if the email was sent from a city account, then that would be a way that you could get it, certainly.
Are there any other options for, I mean, this is kind of uncharted territory, I think, so how best to proceed? The council asked for information that we have not been given, so what do you recommend?
Well, as you mentioned, there's the option getting an email from from AGJ. You filed a public record request, so I think there's still time on that. And then from there, I'll look at other options that y'all have.
Okay, is there time on the public records request?
I believe there is. I'll double check. I'll follow back up
Okay,
with
so
the mayor on
maybe
that.
at the next meeting, if we
yeah,
still
there
haven't
was-
received it, maybe give us some recommendations on how to proceed. Thank you.
All right. Councilman Cumberland?
Yeah, yes, ma'am, thank you. I guess this would be for Derek. Derek, tonight on our docket of claims, we've got our IT services, police department supplies, $20,000 to the electric bill, cellular service, professional fees for the attorneys. About $500 in water bills. Diaz Printing, one of our local businesses. Fuel Man for our Public Works Department. Hancock County Human Resource Agency, here's a good one. Hancock County Library System, $34,700. Hancock County Sheriff's Office, $77,000. King Waste, Kirk's Wheel and Tire. What would happen if we all, here's another one, our audit that we just did, $35,000. What would happen if we all voted no on the paying the docket of claims like the mayor did?
The bills wouldn't get paid.
None of those people will be paid?
But yeah, I mean, it needs council approval.
Mayor, maybe you can tell us why you're voting no on paying the bills.
This isn't a question and answer time. Let's be professional.
Okay.
All
Yeah,
right,
sounds
Councilman Clark, any closing comment?
No, ma'am.
Councilman Marr, any closing comment?
No comments.
All right, and I just have one closing comment. I guess the city attorney did not check his email this afternoon because he had a response. With
Mayor,
that being said,
Mayor,
is
I
there
never,
any need
I,
for
let me,
executive?
Mayor, I never said I did not get a response from you. that's
Okay,
not what
well,
I said.
I thought I heard you say you didn't.
We have not gotten any documents, but you and I have communicated back and forth, as you very well know.
And you did get a response.
Right. And your
Is there
respon-
any need for executive session?
There is, but once again, you're not here, so I'm reluctant to go into executive session to discuss these topics without all of the council members being here, so no.
All right, thank you. Could I get a motion to adjourn?
Move, Cumberland.
Could I get a second?
Second, Clark.
Okay, motion made by Councilman Cumberland, second by Councilman Clark. City Clerk.
Finley?
Yes.
Lisi?
Yes.
Cumberland?
Yes.
Clark?
Yes.
Marr?
Yes.